Welcome to this month's Grammar Focus lesson. In this video, we'll be looking at two very common grammar points, adjectives followed by to and adjectives followed by that. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to use both in your conversations with confidence. Remember that even if this lesson seems easy, please review it many times, focusing on the examples to understand the rules. Mastery comes with practice. Let's begin. First, let's look at adjectives followed by to. See if you can understand the rule from the following examples. She was afraid to go home alone. I'm surprised to see you at work. Aren't you feeling sick? I'm excited to appear on stage for the first time. He's always ready to help out around the house. She was eager to prove she could run fast. We were pleased to hear our friend had a baby. They're sad to be leaving so soon. They wanted a longer vacation. Some of the team members weren't able to make it to basketball practice. She was fortunate to receive a scholarship to her favorite college. We use to before verbs. Pretty easy, right? When you want to comment on or describe how you feel about an action, use to. Let's compare some more examples. I went to work. I was happy to go to work. I was sad to go to work. They heard the news. They were excited to hear the news. They were disappointed to hear the news. We saw the movie. We were eager to see the movie. We were reluctant to see the movie. Now let's look at something related but a bit more complex. Listen closely to the following examples to catch the rule. I was overjoyed to have gotten the job. I was overjoyed for him to have gotten the job. He was sad to be moving to a different town. He was sad for her to be moving to a different town. She looked worried to be coming home late. She looked worried for him to be coming home late. Her boss was happy to take a bigger role. Her boss was happy for her to take a bigger role. They were pleased to come over for dinner. They were pleased for us to come over for dinner. We were excited to finish the test. We were excited for our class to finish the test. Beyond how we feel about actions, we can also describe how we feel about other people doing things. Next, let's look at some examples of opinions. A common expression I'm sure you've heard is, "It's nice to meet you," often shortened to, "nice to meet you." When we say, "It is X to Y" without a subject, we're sharing a personal opinion. We don't have to say who has the opinion because this is clear from the sentence. "It's nice to meet you" means that meeting you is nice, according to me. In the following examples, notice how you can emphasize your opinion or the thing you're describing by changing the order of words in the sentence. In my opinion, learning the piano is easy. It's easy to learn the piano. The piano is easy to learn. It's good to study other cultures. Other cultures are good to study. It's difficult to pass a test without any study. Without any study, a test is difficult to pass. It's silly to own a giraffe as a pet. A giraffe is silly to own as a pet. Without machines, it's impossible to fly like a bird. It's impossible to fly like a bird without machines. Now here are some related examples describing opinions about past, future, and potential actions. It was lovely to go to the beach this morning. It was interesting to see the wildlife documentary. It was beautiful to see the sunset. It would be strange to dance in the middle of a lecture. It will be funny to see her face when she discovers the surprise. It would be healthy to have less sugar each day. It will be great to catch up with you over coffee. Now let's look at adjectives followed by that. See if you can guess the rule from the following examples. I'm afraid that the patient has a problem. He was anxious that his daughter was going to the music festival. She was pleased that her husband got the job. We were surprised that you finished the entire marathon. My parents were sorry that I got in trouble with the police. In the same way that to is followed by verbs, that is followed by nouns. Again, pretty easy. When you want to comment on an activity like swimming, fighting, or acting, or you want to describe how you feel about a person, use that. Here are some additional examples featuring activities, verbs in the form of nouns. I'm sad that playing music too loud is bad for your ears. It's disappointing that canceling the concert is all we can do because of this storm. He's thrilled that exercising is not as hard as he thought it would be. Next, like to, that can also be used to express opinions. Just remember that you're describing a person or an activity when using that. It's good that you are watching what you eat. It's funny that we ran into each other after all these years. It's important that you take notes for the test tomorrow. It's silly that we fight about unimportant things. Finally, that is often eliminated when the grammatical context is understood from the sentence. I'm sorry that John couldn't make it to the meeting. I'm sorry John couldn't make it to the meeting. They're disappointed that they missed the concert due to traffic. They're disappointed they missed the concert due to traffic. She's mad that the wedding venue she wants won't be available. She's mad the wedding venue she wants won't be available. We're thankful that our party was a success. We're thankful our party was a success. Now, let's hear to and that used in a short story about public speaking. I was never excited to speak in public when I was young. I'd always been afraid that I'd say something stupid. I remember the first time I had to speak in front of others in elementary school. I was excited to talk about my aquarium hobby, but was worried that I wouldn't be able to speak for the full 5 minutes that were required. It was also frustrating to not be able to remember my lines. But my parents were glad that I had to do it. They said it would be valuable for my life to become a good speaker. And they were right. Though I was disappointed at the time that my speech wasn't perfect, it felt great to overcome my fear of addressing others in public. As an adult now, I'm always eager to tell people stories. But when it comes to speeches, I know I still need lots of practice. I'll admit that I'm anxious to speak in front of a big audience now and then. Remembering that it's a lot less dangerous to do than other jobs, though, I actually feel glad to be a professional speaker. Finally, here's the same story again told at native speed. I was never excited to speak in public when I was young. I'd always been afraid that I'd say something stupid. I remember the first time I had to speak in front of others in elementary school. I was excited to talk about my aquarium hobby, but was worried that I wouldn't be able to speak for the full 5 minutes that were required. It was also frustrating to not be able to remember my lines. But my parents were glad that I had to do it. They said it would be valuable for my life to become a good speaker. And they were right. Though I was disappointed at the time that my speech wasn't perfect, it felt great to overcome my fear of addressing others in public. As an adult now, I'm always eager to tell people stories. But when it comes to speeches, I know I still need lots of practice. I'll admit that I'm anxious to speak in front of a big audience now and then. Remembering that it's a lot less dangerous to do than other jobs, though, I actually feel glad to be a professional speaker. Listen for these words in your daily life, keep practicing, and have a great day.